Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Salam Media. I'm your host for this evening, Dhakir Dawood. It is now a quarter to 8, and we're going to be wrapping up the show by chatting all things MTN 8. It's an interesting weekend. We're going to see how things unfold in the MTN 8 when Orlando Pirates play host to Mamelodi Sundowns tomorrow at the Orlando Stadium. It's going to be quite an interesting encounter with Pirates losing the last five matches against Sundowns across all competitions. However, their mood in the camp and also their form so far in the league has seen the Buccaneers um, actually coming across and winning the last meeting, which was obviously in 2011 in the MTN 8. However, the Buccaneers have also they've been playing a brand of football this season that many have faith in and many have hope in. So we're gonna see how they can actually meet Sundowns, who many would say is arguably one of the best teams on the continent right now with the form, the depth, and also the style of football that they play. They just look unstoppable. But well, we can talk as much as we want to before the game, but it's all going to come down in between the four lines tomorrow afternoon when the two teams meet in Soweto. So let's see how this one unfolds. And let's see if you come back next week and we probably have a result that would have shocked many. On Sunday, Kaizer Chiefs do play host to Amazulu, who will be making a quick trip to Johannesburg from Durban. We've seen both teams struggling to get consistency this year thus far. Of course, obviously failing to score when the last two um, of the four competitive matches, as well as Amazulu. Um, they just can't seem to hit the back of the net, not finding the net in the last three of the five matches. So we'll have to see how this one plays out on Sunday afternoon. And let's hope that Kaizer Chiefs can have something to brag home about. Because if everything plays out spectacularly, we will see a Soweto derby in the final where Chiefs and Pirates, the giants of South African football, will be taking on one another in the final. Would be an interesting one to see how this one unfolds. It would actually be a nice occasion to have these two teams playing up against each other. Well, that's your football wrap. On the rugby side of things, we do know that the United Rugby Championship is back, and the Blue Bulls are currently playing host to Connacht at Loftus Versfeld this evening. The score coming out of Pretoria is 26 points to 0 for the Bulls. They are leading Connacht at Loftus Versfeld. So that's a good thing for South African sides. Earlier on today, we've seen that Damian Willemse has signed for another 5 years with the Stormers. This will see him go through the prime of his career with the Stormers. A URC champion, a World Cup champion. What more does Damian Willemse need to win to prove that he is one of the best in the world? Later on this evening, the Lions will be taking on Cardiff. This game will kick off at 25-9. The Lions, can they make it back-to-back wins? It's going to be interesting to see how this one unfolds with the Lions all fired up and all geared up to obviously take on Cardiff later on this evening. And then another host of matches coming your way the rest of the weekend. From a South African perspective, Dragons will be taking on the Sharks tomorrow. The Sharks start their tour tomorrow against Dragons. That's going to be an interesting one. Also 25-9 tomorrow evening. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Sharks, actually get to start this season. I'm looking forward to that one. I hope that you guys are too. A lot of interesting matches that will be taking place. But looking at things and, with the season obviously coming to a start and with two games in, the Bulls are 2 out of 2, sitting comfortably on third place. However, they just one bonus point short of being top of the log. The rest of the teams all have suffered a defeat thus far. So it's gonna be quite an interesting one. It's gonna be interesting to see how this unfolds. Will the Stormers be able to pick up where they left off last season? They played their first game last week and won it quite convincingly, getting full 5 points out of it. But also we see the Sharks, also with a convincing start. The Lions got 1 out of 2 thus far, losing the opening game against the Bulls. So yeah, South African teams off to a good start. Can they keep the consistency and the momentum for the rest of the season and not pick up injuries? That would be key for the South African teams to see how they finish off later on this year. It's going to be quite an interesting one. From the cricketing perspective, we know that South Africa is on tour in India, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one unfolds. losing the first T20 match, um, with the next one that will be taking place on Sunday. Um, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. We're hoping that South Africa can do the goods. They fell short in the last match, and hopefully this match they can do one better and bounce back strong. Well, we've taken care of cricket, rugby, and a little bit of football, from myself and the team at Salam Media. We're going to call it a night. It's been interesting. It's been nice chatting all things sports. If you missed out on any segment, I know we had a very interesting segment with Malana. Sidat from Actonville Spurs, telling us a bit about the history of the cricket club. So let's see what he has. Let's see what he has to tell us about Actonville Spurs. Check it out on our podcast, or you could go back on Salami just Facebook and then obviously catch that interview there. Um, Drop us a comment in the comment section below and give us some feedback on what your thoughts are on the show. But for now, we're going to be calling it the evening. I hope that everybody has an amazing weekend. Enjoy the wide variety of sports that there is on offer for everybody to enjoy this weekend. And let's hope that it can provide some content for us for next weekend. From myself, Dhakir Dawood, and the team here coming from Robert Sham, South Africa, we'd like to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Until next week when we're chatting all things sports.